Royals, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to unbox a 2018 Rolex GMT Master II 126710 BLRO Jubilee watch. And a little later, we are going to have a very special guest to make it more interesting. I purchased this watch as a pre-loved item, but the condition is perfectly nice. We would normally call this the Pepsi, but I also like calling it Superman, obviously because of its red and blue colorway. So let's open the box. Okay, let's remove the outer lay. Okay, I never get tired of this beauty. I really love the green Rolex box. In here, you can see the BLRO 2018 Jubilee bracelet. So you can also find the hang tags. And of course, the manual and the warranty manual, as well as the cards. So let's keep there. And here you can see the 2018 BLRO, or the Pepsi. So as you can see, it's still in pristine condition. We all know that we have the old BLRO with the oyster bracelet. This one is the new BLRO with the Jubilee bracelet. This Pepsi was one of the most talked about watches at the Basel World 2018. Everyone was just too excited to finally have another version of the BLRO, of course. The other most talked about watch was Tudor's Black Bay GMT. So it's also a nice watch. The distinctive red and blue Cerachrome bezel has been the signature element of the GMT Master ever since the release of the very first model 6542 in 1955. The last GMT steel with an anodized aluminum bezel was the reference 16710, but in 2014 we got a white gold Pepsi GMT. This initially had an interesting effect on satisfying the desire amongst Rolex enthusiasts for the return of the Pepsi. But it also fanned the flames of yearning for a steel Pepsi even higher. I personally like the steel more than the white gold. I mean, don't get me wrong, who wouldn't like a white gold, right? But for GMT, I prefer having the steel. But of course, that's personal preference. What about you guys? What's your preference? Please let me know your thoughts. Comment below in the comment section. This new model is everything everyone's been yearning for in a Pepsi GMT Master. But of course, with some updates from the last aluminum bezel version, some obvious and some rarely visible. To allow us a better comparison, let's call in our guest for today. He's not a person. He's a watch. So let's call in the old Pepsi. Ta-da! Okay. But you know what? This one's not a GMT Master II. This is only a GMT Master 16700. But it's good for some comparison. This actually has started to fade, the bezel. But I love the patina. Even with my bags, I love having the patina because it tells a story and it exudes so much character. So yeah, I really personally like that it has started to fade, and the patina just gives the watch so much more character. So let's compare. For one, this new Pepsi steel has the Cerachrome or ceramic bezel. This actually debuted in the white gold 2014 model. This is scratch proof and the colors won't fade over time. I like this one. Second, it's wider than the old bezel and doesn't have its mid-20th century anachronistic charm, the anodized aluminum bezel. After all, this has been around since 1959. But as with most of the changes Rolex makes to existing models, it's unquestionably a better choice from a technical material standpoint. I'm talking about the new model. Another noteworthy from this new Pepsi is the GMT Movement Caliber 3285, which replaces the old caliber G186 used in the last aluminum bezel version, and which is still in use in other GMT Master II watches, including the white gold Pepsi 116719 BLRO. The caliber 3285 uses the combination of the Chronergy escapement and parachrome balance spring, which was first rolled out in the date, I guess, in the year 2015. So what's a Chronergy escapement? This is essentially an improved lever geometry and skeletonized escape wheel for better efficiency, as well as the use of a non-magnetic nickel phosphorus alloy for both parts. So I would say technically, the caliber of this new model is so much better. In addition to better resistance to magnetism, the greater efficiency of escapement produces a significantly longer power reserve. The old 3186 movement has a 48-hour running time. This new 3285 offers 70 hours running time, so that's almost times 2. In terms of accuracy, however, both movements are controlled to the same standards, that's plus minus 2 seconds per day, so that's highly accurate for a watch, right? So of course, the other big difference, which is far more noticeable than the movement, is the Jubilee bracelet. This is the Jubilee bracelet, this is the Oyster bracelet. So this is the first appearance of a Jubilee bracelet on a Cerachrome bezel GMT Master II. Although of course, it can be found as a period correct bracelet on many vintage models. This Jubilee bracelet actually tells a story of its own. This was introduced by Rolex in 1945 on the date chest. This actually marked the 40th founding anniversary of the company, which was founded in 1905 as Wilsdorf and Davis. If you check wedding anniversaries, wherein we have 25 years for silver wedding anniversary, gold for the 50 years anniversary, 40th wedding anniversary is the Ruby Jubilee, which is probably why this is called a Jubilee bracelet, marking the 40 years of the company. So the Jubilee bracelet was also the very first in-house Rolex bracelet. So it's actually very significant. The Jubilee bracelet on a Pepsi bezel GMT or any GMT probably is the single most divisive element of the watch. Like all modern Rolex bracelets, it's beautifully engineered with best in-class fit and finish. However, it's also a bit more ornamental than an Oyster bracelet. And it would seem that the relative sobriety of the GMT Master II ought to call for the more austere look of the Oyster. It's not really more of a comfort issue. The Jubilee bracelet should theoretically offer better conformance to the shape of the wrist, primarily due to the smaller links. But the Oyster bracelet is just more well known with the GMT Master models. For whatever reason, some of the watch collectors that I know, they also prefer the steel bracelet over the white gold one. So that's another reason to love this Jubilee model. It's easier to distinguish the steel model from the white gold model. The two would otherwise be rather difficult to tell apart, but the Jubilee bracelet is an instant indication that you're wearing the steel version. This is apt to make the Jubilee bracelet an attractive choice for prospective owners. So whether you prefer the old Oyster version, it's also very nice, right? Or this new Jubilee bracelet version. To me personally, I think if you have the means, then both are worth keeping, since the BLRO has always been one of the fan favorites of Rolex enthusiasts. and both are really beautiful. Both have a story of its own, both have its character. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want us to feature other watches, please leave your comments below and hit the subscribe and bell buttons for notification. Once again, great thanks for watching this video. Till next time, Royals, stay safe!